What's up, y'all? It's Catman, and this is going to be the first episode in a new series of mine where I'm talking about indie comics that I'm reading now for the first time as a returning comic collector. And for our first episode, we're talking Kurt Pyer's Lost Fantasy. And if you've seen these, you're probably not familiar with this cover. Well, you probably are, but you're probably more familiar with its video game covers that are absolutely popping off right now. These are insane. This is only two of them. Obviously, well, not obviously, maybe you don't know. We got the Devil May Cry 3 reference. On this side, we got Bloodborne. There is more too. There's a Final Fantasy 7 one for the first issue. That one's insane. I ordered it, but it hasn't came in yet. There's also, what else is it? There's a Final Fantasy X that's coming out for issue 5 though, so that's not out yet. Final Fantasy X reference on issue 5 and a Zelda reference on another cover in issue 5. So issue 5, they're definitely going crazy for that one. But which makes sense because issue 4 ended with a banger. But let's get into the story. So the story is about our main character, Henry Blackheart. Basically, in this world, there's a universe beneath ours, basically like a world beneath ours, with magical beasts and creatures and people who can use magic. And in about 1901ish, something around there, a gate opens and they start flooding through into our world. And this group of hunters who can use like certain magics and whatnot are fending them off. And at the end of fending them off, World War One ends as well. He signed the Treaty of Versailles or Versailles, whatever, however you know. And in that treaty, in this world, they also add a thing where each member of the Great Hunters is what they were named, end up getting their own like domain to take care of and protect from magical beasts and things of that nature. And there's one in Japan, one in India, one in America, and that's where our main character is. Basically, the guy who started the one in America, um, his last name's Blackheart. He finds our protagonist as a baby, just a little baby with white hair, finds him, raises him as his own, teaches him how to fight, this, that, and the third. And then from there, we follow the main character, Henry Blackheart, who, I mean, just looks like a badass. Let's see if we can find, like, where we first get him. He, like, wakes up from a couch, like, wakes up off the couch and then just, like, ascends. And then, because he, like, answers a call where someone's like, you know who I am, you know where you need to be. Just, like, gets off the couch and, boom. And, I don't know. Our main character is pretty cool. He's kind of edgy. So one thing I will say, I wasn't expecting this with Lost Fantasy. I mean, I didn't know what to expect from the covers. I was just like, okay, obviously a guy with a big fucking sword. I'm in. But what we get is almost essentially kind of like a fantasy buddy cop scenario where it's him. Starts off him, and then it's like he ends up getting with a guy who they obviously have some like history. They're both agents at the same thing. Like the top two, I don't know, FBI agents, or I'm not sure if they're actually FBI agents or if like the Great House is just. I mean, well, great houses are integrated with the government, so I guess yeah, they're just FBI agents. But the art on it is really nice too. I mean, I really like our main character's design. I like his outfit. I mean, it's kind of just all black, but yeah, basically we start off, we're following like a crime that happened in this small town. And of course, at first, the cops in the town, the sheriffs and whatnot, they're really reluctant for this new guy's help and everything. But it's kind of giving off this feel that they're hiding something. So oh, okay. Thought something messed up. So, of course, anyways, our main character keeps pushing in, doing his job. They find this site where this girl got hit by a car, basically, and he just thinks there's more to it. So he gets to the crash scene and then sees the where she got hit and all this down the third. But then he starts walking off into the woods, and this is where we finally get like our first glimpses of the main character's magic or any type of like magic that we're seeing. And basically what happens is he's trying to track her footsteps, but he's saying I can't see that well right now. So he summons a dragon from a tattoo on his neck. Mind you, this was insane. I was like, okay, Brady's obviously him. Like, I don't know what else he can do, but he's obviously him. Stop it. Because it's not just one dragon, it's two, by the way. Look like the exact same thing. They're like mirror image, and it's just one talking. So I don't know if that's means something, but whatever. And basically, the dragon gets summoned, and he's kind of just like, what do you need me for? Like, don't you have this like your golden eye power thingy? That's like almost basically what he said word for word. Um, and our main character Henry's basically just like, I can't use that all the time. Like, I don't know, I can't fully control it. I need your help. And then reluctantly, the dragon named Enzo does end up helping him. He's like, okay, I can track. I see the girl's footprints. I also see something bigger that was chasing her. Um, and I'm not going to go through the whole story of the comic, but basically that kind of just leads us down this path of mysteries where he ends up running into his old agent and or this old agent that he had history with, and that becomes where our buddy cop tropes start creeping in at. But it's really cool, and we see his first like, well, I guess now his second use of magic, basically. First, I'm gonna show the dragon, and so since I hyped it up so much, I might as well show it. Pretty tough. Like I said, literally summoned it from the tattoo. Um, but yeah, basically, we see him use magic a second time here, where he's summoning his sword because he kind of gets ambushed by these beasts while he's trying to track the footprints. He gets ambushed by a few beasts, and then we see he uses this like rune type of magic where he's moving his hands in a certain way, almost in a sign language type thing. And he does that, and we see all these like weapons pop up. But of course, you know what he has to choose. Come on, the big fucking sword. We all have to live out our guts. Power fantasy. And speaking of power fantasy, one thing I like in this comic that's like a recurring thing I keep noticing is that while these guys are strong and formidable and do seem to have some type of magic, they're not invincible. And I feel like this is a refreshing like break from the superhero comics that I've been getting into, where it's like or getting back into, where it's like these guys are like, I don't know. They're like definitely getting cooked. Like they're doing the cooking, but they're also like almost dying, which is cool. Like it's refreshing to feel like, oh, this can happen to them. You know what I mean? Whereas you don't really feel like that reading certain superheroes and whatnot. Um, as I say that though, the main character does get shot literally in the head in the first issue, and he is absolutely up and fine within 24 hours. So take that as you will. I'm not saying they're they're not lightweight, but yeah, the action is really good. We get a little bit of romance too, where like when he gets shot in the head, it's basically by this like ex lover. She was trying to take out a contract on him, and that's kind of where we see more magic basically in the next issue. Oh my gosh, this part is so cool. So it's not really her who does the shooting. It's her and her like partner. They're like assassins, and they take a job out on him. And the guy that she's with who does the shooting, I forget his name, but he basically like stands up, conjures like the parts to a weapon, and puts it together like magically. And then it's like he shoots the guy, but it's like it's a sniper, so it's coming from far. And basically as it's going, like it's just explaining how he's the bullet. Like he's controlling the bullet, but he's also like is the bullet. Like he's getting closer to them, and he can like feel what the bullet is ripping through. And the our main character's like standing over this ogre that he just killed, and he's like he can smell the ogre blood as the bullet gets closer and closer. And it's cool because when our main character wakes up, he hears about what happened to him and how they found a bullet shell or bullet casing or whatever with like magic coming off of it, and he's like ballistomancy. Like I thought they were taken out with the wizards and the witches. So it's kind of cool on two fronts because one, ballistomancy, what there's like a word and a worked out like sequence for our sorry, I'm looking at the other screen. There's like a word and a worked out like sequence of magic for like bullet curving, like wanted or something. Like that's insane. And also just the world building. Now we're getting like, okay, there was wizards and witches, but they're dead now. Like, what did like I'm confused. Like, do the great houses kill anything magical? Do they not have like don't they have magic themselves, or is it more of just a keeping the two worlds at bay? Again, we're only on issue 4 right now, so I'm not too sure how that is, but I don't know. Lost Fantasy, I'm really liking it. I'm liking the way that the two characters are kind of bouncing off each other. Like I said, it kind of gives like 2000s buddy cop feels almost, but while you're still in this like deep fantasy world, which is pretty cool. Um, like I said, with some of it, it feels like the author can't really help but make the like, I don't know, obvious 2000s like little one liner. You know, I feel like when you're doing like a detective type thing, it's probably hard to not. But yeah, I talked a lot about the main character, so I guess our like co-main character, I think it's Nihilus. Um, you can actually get to see them fight in issue 3. Not really gonna spoil what was going on or anything like that, just because I don't know where everyone is. I'm kind of like trying to tell story bits without telling the full story, like giving you a lot to read for yourself, because I know this is a independent comic, and though the covers are probably popping off, it might not be known to everyone. Also, I'm a returning collector. Maybe everyone knows about this comic literally, and I'm just out of the loop. But, anyways, one thing I kind of don't like, I don't know why, but it's like, okay, they can conjure weapons and whatnot. Um, and Buddy conjures a big ass sword. That's awesome. Why does Nihilus have a lightsaber? I don't care how you put it, how you slice it. That's a lightsaber. Stop it. I don't know. It's like, Star Wars is cool, but it's like a lightsaber. Like, I don't know. I'm probably hating. I'm probably hating. I will admit I'm probably hating, but I'm not a big fan of it. But what I am a big fan of is, so basically going back. I should have said this when I brought up Enzo the dragon. The dragon tattoo on his neck that turns into an actual dragon or whatever. Basically, it gave us a little bit of backstory that as a rite of passage, around a certain age, people, members of this great house have to, maybe it's all houses, but I think it's just the Blackheart house. They have to tame a magical beast basically, and make it their own. So it's kind of like a Karama type thing, except for it, you summon it out and it fights with you. And we see that his is that dragon, right? But also, I don't think I have issue 2 on hand to show, but the black guy, his partner, Nihilus, he can summon one as well, which is cool. Oh yeah, we do see a little bit in this one. And his is like a polar bear. And I love how they all talk and have their own personality. Like it's like a, I don't know, like a spirit entity thing that you summon, and they seem kind of vulgar and almost like they don't want to be summoned. I don't know. I'm really interested in those and getting more like yeah, I'm about to bend this comic, trying to put it back. I'm just going to set it down. But I'm really interested in getting to know more about those familiars that they summon and exactly what's going on with that and what they do. Like I said, we're only 4 issues in, so I'm sure we're going to see more of it. And I'm going to make more episodes of this, but the next issue doesn't even come out until November. It's early September right now, so kind of cooked on that. But as far as like the story, the world building has been cool. We keep getting these little bits, like I said, the familiars and these other creatures, and I'm interested to know more about all these other things. Like obviously, I don't still understand our magic system and what exactly we have going on. I know the main character does have another type of magic where, like I said, with the eye thing, it's kind of like he touches people, and I'm not sure. It seems like he's going in their dreams. Um, he went into one person's brain and something noticed it and called him a mind walker. So I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds sick as fuck. I'm gonna be honest. So hey, there's that. But also, just back to the story again. Like I said, buddy cop thing. So obviously, there's a mystery that we're trying to figure out, and it just basically keeps getting deeper and deeper and more involved. And it seems like people of the Great House might be more involved. And kind of towards the end of issue 4, we kind of see like what's going on. Well, we don't see what's going on. Let me make that clear, but we're kind of seeing a little bit behind the scenes where we know somebody who's involved directly. And I'm not gonna lie, from just a story standpoint and like mystery, detective, whatever, I'm kind of locked in. I'm liking how each clue leads to another clue. Like the author's doing well at drawing me. I'm like, oh, what does this mean? And what does that mean? And oh, it's him. Oh, what is? Oh, are we gonna? You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of what you want from those type of comics, shows, anything, when you want the author to make you feel like you're invested in it. And as far as the mystery side, I'm invested. As far as the world building and figuring out about the different races and the magic system, I'm invested. So this is by Kurt Pyers. Yeah, Kurt Pyers is doing his thing. I'm not sure who's doing most of the covers. I think it's Alex Dioto. He's doing like most of these video game reference covers himself. I think he did issue 1A and B himself too. I just don't have them on hand. And I wish I had my issue 2 here because it's a big Berserk reference. It's so nice. It's like the main character like with the moon behind him and the sword. But yeah, that's Lost Fantasy. This has been episode 1 of my new comic collector talks indie comics, and yeah, I'm Catman. Have a nice one.